Look who's dropping by to visit. I can't believe it. About time you come back. Look who it is, Junior. She's back. While she was taking her dust bath, I thought I would run down the hill just to take a peek and see what the nest looks like. And boy, was I shocked to see that many eggs. Holy cow. There's a guarantee that at least a couple of these are going to be good fertile eggs that should be hatching. And there she goes back down the hill to them. You know, both chicken and turkey hens pretty much do the exact same thing when it comes to hatching eggs. They'll sit on that nest for about 23 and a half hours a day. And for about a 30 to 45 minute window each day, that chicken or turkey will leave that nest or that clutch of eggs, and they'll do three things. They'll go take a dust bath real quick, they'll get a bite to eat and drink, and they'll take a really big poop, like huge, like nothing you've ever seen before. I'm talking like a baseball. But, you know, they can't do that when they're sitting on their eggs, and they got to tend to that nest really intense. But for that small little window, they need to go do these things. And that's something important, you know, if you're new to having a broody hen, you can't just confine them somewhere in a cage with their eggs so they'll be safe. You got to make sure they still have access to go take a dirt bath. It's just for their health. The only real difference between chickens and turkeys is chickens incubate eggs in about 21 days. The turkeys take about an extra week. I think around 28 days on average for turkey eggs to hatch. Guess a little bit bigger meal, a little bit longer to cook, or something like that. Anyway, she is down there sitting on a good clutch of eggs. We're confident most of them's fertile. They should be hatching here in about 2 or so weeks. And you know, we don't really care for where she's at so much, but she picked that spot out herself. We didn't. And I found you're best just to leave them alone when they do these sort of things. A lot of people try and pick the eggs up and candle them to see which ones have chicks in them, which ones don't. I try and leave them alone because, you know, the hens will actually turn those eggs. They do all that stuff themselves while they're setting on them, and they just kind of know how to take care of everything. She is a little vulnerable in the spot where she's at. You know, she's not protected. She's hidden well, but that's it. But that's exactly what turkeys do in the wild. They're not protected either. They find a big grassy patch or a brushy area, and they'll bed down and make a nest and just hope for the best. Worst case scenario, she'll get eaten by a fox. Unfortunately, I really don't have any good secure locations to put her other than the chicken coop and the rabbit cage, both of which would present a whole new set of problems. Not to mention you got to try and move her nest and hope that she'll still continue to sit on it, which is usually a safe bet, but sometimes they just don't go back to it after that. We're going to leave her alone and just hope for the best, see how it goes. And speaking of hatching babies, we have a fresh new batch of pullets and cockerels from our last straight run we ordered. We finally turned them loose from the brooder and put them in the coop, and we're going to have some good baby chicken footage coming up here later on this week. These are salmon faverals, and I think some sex links as well. Maybe a barred rock as a mystery chick. It's a fun mixture. You're going to love it. Till next time, this is Pretend Farmer, signing out.